From this point, we will use our work file where you have examples and you can repeat after me and learn how to do things. So let's move there, and the first our lesson will be about text. Here is our page Figma Basics, and over here is our working area. We will work in these striped areas where you can find some examples, and we will work here in darker areas. In this case, all the examples will be in front of us. And now let's play around with all this text and see what can we have. I'll copy some of them here. Okay, I will copy one of the text and see what can I do with it. As you see, it has 36 size, so I will make a copy. Command C, Command V, or Control C, Control V at Windows. And let's see what settings do I have. I selected the text, and I see that its font is Roboto. It is bold. It has some these settings. We will cover them, and there are a lot of another settings over here. So let's change the size. It will be bigger. Now copy it and change its weight. Let's make it light or even thin. Okay. I'll copy this text and make it probably light or regular, and I will set this space into, let's say, 50. Yeah, probably it's something like here. I can make this text be probably medium. Yes, as you see, this looks more stylish. For some projects, for some labels, headlines, I can change the font. I have no idea what the font is over here. Probably it says Viber. Let's find it. As you see, there are a lot of fonts over here, and there is a moment with the fonts. If you work online with your browser, you don't have to install fonts at your laptop, at your desktop. But if you use Figma application, it will have some fonts inside, but if you use some fonts that are missing, you have to install them into your system, and after this Figma will pick them up and you can use them. Where it can happen, for example, you download some project file and Figma says that you have missing fonts, and Figma will try to replace it to another font, and you can choose to what font to change it, to replace it. But if you want to have the original font, you just have to download it. So actually it is the same in all other programs that use fonts. You have to install the fonts at your laptop to use them. At the beginning you can use browser version, but I suggest you to use the app. It's more handy, and it will be less resourceful for your computer, because when you open a browser, usually there are a lot of tabs over there, and when you use just a separate program for Figma, it will process only your Figma files. So let's find our font. It's yeah, it's over here. Now let's see some of these settings. Outer width, outer height, and fixed size. Fixed, yeah. If you want to make text like this, there are several ways to do this. For example, you can press enter several times, and here we are. Let's copy and paste it. We can change to this. It even doesn't allow me to do something. Let's see that we had our original text and we use this fixed width and we want to change it. So you see the text follows. This is pretty useful. And if you use fixed size like this, in this case, if you want to type some extra text, you see I typed it, but it goes below, and this blue rectangle shows actually the border of the text layer. And for now you can think that it's not important that text goes below, but if you use some another tools, if you combine this text with another objects, if you align them, this will make a mess. So that's why I usually use fixed width or fixed height depending on what behavior I want this text to perform. Let's move on and see some other settings. Okay, let's see what do we have here. We have these settings. It says line height to 100, and we have this setting that is called paragraph space. And what's the difference? The difference is that line height is actually a height of the line of your text with the spacing, and the spacing between lines is this thing. Let's set line height to, for example, 200 or 100, and let's say spacing between lines to, let's send this back to 0, and actually it was not 0, it was auto, and let's you see it's bigger because we added more space over here, and this is just an example of our text without the settings. And here are 3 other texts. As you see, they have fixed size and different alignment. The bottom, middle, and top. Actually, there are a lot more other settings over here. You can make your text striked or underlined or something. You can play around with all these things. We won't cover them right now because there are a lot of them and we don't use them that much. And that's it with the most simple text settings.